If you don't give yourself the opportunity to fail, you can't succeed. Hey everyone. This is why you'll never make it. As creatives, or in general, people with a dream, a lot of times we tend to not work or even start on our dream because we're too busy planning it. And planning isn't a bad thing. But I think there's something that we're all seeking as creatives, and that's perfection. I think a lot of us, we're not just planning to begin. We're saying to ourselves, we are not starting unless we know clearly in our head and our hearts that this will 110% work. And another year goes by. And another year goes by. Months, weeks, and suddenly someone else had the exact same idea that you had, and you're left as a guy saying, I was gonna do that. You become that person when you're older, looking at your children saying to them, that was meant to be me. And again, planning isn't bad, but you have to make mistakes in order to reach whatever goal it is that you want to reach. You have to. And you cannot make mistakes if you're spending every second planning but no time doing. Because where a lot of creatives and a lot of the greatest minds fail is by not starting. If you're watching this video, more than likely you've got an idea yourself. Someone's probably sent you this video, and you watch the next singer come along and you ask yourself, why did he make it? I'm better than him. You watch the next rapper come along and be like, why do they love him? Da, 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 da. But you don't even know if they love you. How can you? You haven't given them a chance to. Don't misinterpret failure. It's another reason why you'll never make it. See, sometimes you get so caught up in the idea and the results of the idea that you don't take into the fact that you've actually brought an idea to life. You know, me and my friends, we always joke about how rich we would be if we followed every single idea we'd ever had. Like, ask yourself now, think about every idea you've had, where would you be? All the ideas that, you know, you saw on TV and you're like, damn, I had that idea before. Sometimes we get so caught up with an idea that we don't have a passion for the idea anymore. We have a passion for the result of what the idea will bring, the applauses. All we want is the normal human behavior. We want to be acknowledged. We fall out of love with the idea and we fall in love with the result of the idea, so we never actually materialize the idea. Because we don't love the idea. We love the result of it. Now please don't misinterpret failure. Ever. I heard someone earlier say, it doesn't matter how many times you fall, as long as it's one less times than how many times you get up. Think about whoever is the top in whatever you believe in, whatever you love. I promise you they failed. I promise you. It's not possible to do something and not fail, not get it wrong. You have to learn from it. Do not misinterpret your failures as meaning you have to stop. It means you have to work harder. If you do not interpret your failures as lessons, then you can't want whatever it is you say you want. You can't. If that's the case, you're not even failing. You just don't want it. You just don't. How much do you want it? Seriously, how much do you want? How many times do you dedicate your evening to what it is you say you love? Question. Do you dedicate as much time trying as you do tweeting about it? Do you dedicate as much time telling everyone how great you're going to be as much as you do doing it? Because if you did, you'd probably be amazing by now. Imagine all the hours you spent thinking about it. If you dedicated all those hours to doing it, where would you be? Don't misinterpret your failures. They're lessons. They're lessons that you need to learn from. Let me ask you a question. You answer it to yourselves. How good are you at what you love? How good are you at what you believe in? Cool. So you're the same level as the people that people compare you to, right? Because if you're watching this video, I know you go through that. You know, you're a singer, but you always hear your friends talking about another singer and you're thinking, I'm better than them. You're a rapper, you've got a product, you've got a service, you've got a company. Oh, your company is just like this, isn't it? Oh, what? You're a poet? What, like so-and-so? If Usain Bolt said, you know, I'm fast in my area, but maybe I'm not really ready for the big stage yet. If Michael Jackson said, you know, my dad's making me sing with my brothers and that, really Tito's the star, I'm going to just leave that alone. I'm going to wait till I get my shot, maybe in 20, 30 years. Everyone always talks about timing. It's one of the biggest excuses creatives have. Timing. Everything's going to happen in God's timing. I'm a believer. I understand what you're trying to say. But don't blame God for your laziness. Don't. God gave you that gift. He gave you the opportunities. He gave you the talent. He gave you the skill. And now you're going to turn around and say, he's the one holding you back. Cool. Don't get me wrong. Things ain't going to happen overnight. It takes a lot of work. But doing is part of training. I don't think a lot of people understand that. Doing is part of training. Every time you get on that stage, every time you record a song, every time you release a song, it's part of your training. You get it wrong, you learn how you got it wrong, you do it again. You release a video, the video don't bang, you get 22 views, you learn why you got 22 views and you go again. You start singing, you get on that stage, they don't really love your voice, you learn and you go again. This is the first time I'm doing one of these speaking videos. Might come out trash. Might not. I'm gonna learn, I'm gonna go again. By the time you're finished arguing with yourself about God's timing and how things were meant to have been done, and you're not starting yet because everything's not in place, I promise you, I'll be in a position that will make you say to yourself, I should have started then. I'm a big believer in learning from people's mistakes. I learn from successes, I learn from mistakes. I watch people that do what I do. I say, how did they get to that position? Cool. They're not me, so I can't take everything they've done and apply it to myself. But there's certain attributes I can take. Maybe I can say, right, this person worked so hard. This person tried every single day. I saw this person always posting about, they're always at video shoots. They're always doing this. And people's failures as well. And I see people when it don't work out, I ask myself, what didn't they do? Why weren't they accepted? What can I learn? And there's one more thing I learned from myself. Because once you're finished learning from other people and their mistakes and their successes, you need to take your shot. You can write down all the paperwork in the world. Me, I got a degree myself. I could write down essays on how things are meant to be done. You yourself know that. If you're watching this, you know that. You're probably in uni, not in uni, got a degree, not got a degree. But if you do have a degree, you're in uni, you're in college, you're studying what you do, even thinking about studying it, you yourself know that the theory doesn't match up with the practical. So why is it when you walk away from that classroom, you suddenly believe it does? You yourself know you're studying music. You're studying media. You love cameras. You're studying sports. You love playing football. You yourself know that regardless of what is said in that classroom, when it's time to get up and do, it's a whole different world. These kids that are higher than you in the class, they probably can't touch you on a stage, on the pit, inside the laboratory, wherever it is. They can't touch you. Why is it away from your group of friends? Away from when you're explaining about how the degree doesn't really matter. Why is it when you're away from that, suddenly everything's just theory? Just theory. And let's say this again. There is nothing wrong with planning. You plan. But don't you dare use that as an excuse to not do. And probably why you're failing. Probably is. Probably burns you to hear this, doesn't it? Yo, like, from a kid, I used to dream about being a footballer. Used to love Man United. I still love Man United. Shout out to Jose. I used to dream of being a footballer. And there was a point I got proper fat, like I was 13 years old. And then one of my neighbours said, yo, how you gonna be a footballer if you're just fat? Shout out to Wayne Rooney. For the next 3 years, I spent every weekday running in the evenings after school. I realised I was inconsistent with the every weekday thing, so I tried to do 3 days a week. It worked. I found my balance. I started going to trials. I probably wasn't the best in my school, probably wasn't the best in my year, probably wasn't even the best in the football team. Probably weren't. But there was opportunities. I was going to take them. I had those opportunities. I didn't pass them. Got into a few trials. Dropped the effort. Got complacent. That's the second part we need to talk about. Complacency.